as we start talking about decisions that get made by HR or executives or even management level employees with the assistance of AI, where we are right now, AI does not understand many human factors, and it intentionally omits them for the purposes of its data analysis. It's been instructed in many cases to omit that. So as we start talking about kind of higher stakes employment decisions, how we're accommodating somebody with a physical or mental disability, how we're making sure that they have their appropriate leaves associated and how they overlap with one another, and maybe we're not considering another aspect of things, the Americans with Disabilities Act and how that plays in, or in California specifically, the Fair Employment and Housing Act and how that plays in to these data analysis points. Employers are kind of just glossing over those situations. And those are the situations that I have to deal with in litigation, because all too often what happens is by the end, when the decision is already made, the plaintiff has gone out and obtained an attorney and brought a claim forward, and I sit down with somebody and I say, okay, so why did you go through these steps? Well, I don't know. I don't have the documentation. I don't have the backup to say how we got to this. All I know is that we used an AI tool to help guide us on the next steps here. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that is a death knell for any business. If you are completely relying upon AI, it puts us into an almost non-defensible position. Automatic presumptions come into play within the law, both at the federal and at every state level right now. And I call this the black box defense, right? Which is, it wasn't me who made the decision. It was the little black box that's sitting on the table over there that made the decision. That is a horrible place to be in, because AI can't come in and testify and give us the defense for its position. You probably didn't go through the documentation process of, well, this is what we did, this is how we analyzed it, this is how the decision tree went. And without those two critical elements, testimony or documented evidence, we have no defense in a litigation matter. So for those of you who are in HR that are on this call, if you are using AI to basically at least advise you on the general propositions of law, you should be printing that out. You should say, I looked this up. I wanted to make sure that I understood how this leave law applied or how this wage and hour law applied to this particular situation. Here's the information that I received. I then reviewed it. I made this decision based upon X, Y, and Z. And that documentation goes into the file, and that is what will protect you, because you're no longer blaming the black box. You're making the qualitative decision at the end of the day.